A new season still in its infancy finds two teams squaring off with playoff aspirations here in Washington, D.C. Today, the Philadelphia Phoenix come to town to play the D.C. Breeze in Week 2 of the AUDL season. Come on in, good Sunday afternoon, and take a load off. I'm Tyler Byram here with Shaggy here today. Now, Shaggy, I mentioned it's Week 2, game number 2 for both these two teams. A lot of new faces. What are you expected to see here today?
Well,
that's Mott working himself into the backfield. Martin looking for the continuation. That was one thing when they had trouble. Mott was the one that was able to come in and really open things up for the offense as Mott sends it into Martin for the goal.
Clean hold for Philadelphia. We're tied 1-1. Huge ups from.
So once again, DC will have to play defense against Philadelphia. This is a break opportunity for the Phoenix and a chance to take the lead here early. Here's a shot to Pollard. Merriman trailing. Pollard is there and just walks it and guides it right into the end zone. The Phoenix are on top here 2-1.
Wow, and they switched spots. Normally we see James Pollard throwing to Greg Martin. Greg Martin uncorking it for James. Yeah, Boxley back to Edmonds on the far sideline. Look at DC just spread the field. I mean, they were on the far sideline. Now they're on the near sideline.
Braun with the inside throw to Malks, and Malks is goal hunting down to Wodach, and Jeff Wodach elevates for the goal.
Old guy got up. The statesman, the elder statesman on the team.
Wodach has said, you know, he has other skills than being called old. He doesn't need the commentators mentioning it every time that he touches the disc. It's the Phoenix. It's their turn to work it all the way around to both sides of the field. This one ripped off and deep. Two defenders there for DC, Cranston and Fall, but it is Pollard that comes down with it. James Pollard using all of his 6'5" frame to elevate and get the disc, but he was just short of the end zone.
Pollard having a big start to the game.
Oh, but then that one's knocked away. Sean Mott just short-armed it just enough. Tom, he has an open man. Nope, he looks off Bloodgood. Looks off Fall. Both of them have their open arms.
I would have thrown both of those.
Hey, you know what? The dink and doink offense here from DC pulled out by their D-line. Alexander Fall finally gets open, and he's the one that scores.
That was a big change in momentum. Philly gets that.
So it looks like a majority of the offense stays out here for Philadelphia with a couple of variations, and immediately it is sent deep and diving just out in front of them. Bergeron, only Bergeron on the team this year. Streaking up line, here's the hammer from Rowan, and then a sliding grab there made by A.J. Merriman. Breeze with another break, and on top 4-2.
That's why Rowan's on the D-line, right? He provides that creative throwing that I'm not sure if this D-line had last year, and now they definitely do.
Yeah, just such a big difference maker and being able to just get that little spark. Justin Keller, JK, a former DC Breeze player back in 2021. Oh, and a layout block by Alexander Fall. Oh, no, that was AJ. AJ got the D, playing in the handler space. McDonald, quick give and go. That is Fall, and Fall gets the goal for the Breeze. Three straight breaks.
Yeah, wow. They turned it on here, and I think Philly's playing a little bit slow, and it's controversial. I kind of like it. DC's always got fresh fits.
Oh, and Jasper Tom leaving his feet. Such a great handler defender and getting those layout attempts, just that quick trigger to be able to leave his feet, and DC now looks to be rolling. Here he is one more time. Fall with his third goal of the game, and DC takes a commanding 6-2 lead. DC kind of sagging, letting him go underneath. Ethan Holmgren. Thorne to Mott. He's one you want to have rip it through three defenders like butter. Macked it to the end zone and a catch. The Phoenix score at the buzzer with the assist in the air. Wow. Max Tripolis coming down with that. I'll have to see who got the Mac.
Ethan Holmgren is
in the last game and really much of the end of last season, as that one floats up in the air and McDonald is there to take it away. Just a little bit too high for Alex Thorne, and now the Breeze D-line is still rolling.
Philadelphia is just playing too casually.
Bloodgood to Ja. Yes, another goal for the Breeze. Matt Esser, some new and younger players are getting involved here for Philadelphia, and it's really an introduction to this fan base of these Stars. Looking for Mott. I don't know if Mott's going to get there. No. And, man, Mott doesn't lose too many foot races like that. What a run there.
Yeah, Troy Holland just turned on the afterburners, and I think the angle for that throw was tough. You know, Mott can't leave his feet if he's going to leave his feet into Troy Holland. Great D.
Okay, so Cam, if we get to the end zone, if DC scores, we want to get their face
Tom.
towards the end zone.
The slash across by Bergeron. Tom going up line, and his defender's well behind him. A risky blade forces Tom to leave his feet. A skull there for Tom, but maybe Tom might be going to the sideline being like, hey, man, I had all this space.
Yeah, why throw a blade when any throw would have gotten it there? That's when creative.
They still can't master the wind. It seems like when you get about 20 feet up in the air, the wind completely changes from what it is on the field. So perhaps that being a factor, as Pollard just rips this one right from his waist. McDonald trying to get it. Oh, no.
Luke Reifus might have been 11 feet.
As we get a look at Andrew Roy and Cole Urick, two former Minnesota wind chill players, and then a layout interception there by Philadelphia.
Campanella coming through.
Played just 5 points against the Empire. Already matching that here early, as this is a crossfield blade. Good grab by the outside arm by Tripolis. And a little pizza pass up in the air there for Campanella. Bookends there for number 5. Jeremy Knopf, Andrew Roy, and McDonald are the 3 defenders back, and that one is floated. Oh, and the second attempt, is it up? They're saying yes. The Philadelphia sideline disagrees. This is Boxley going to try and get it now. He does, inbounds, then back across to Ja, and Roger Chu is irate over there talking with the official.
That's a tough one. I think what Roger's saying is that on that bid, Malks' hand touches the ground first, and his hand is out of bounds. And I think what the ref is saying is, no, he got his feet down inbounds before that happened. That's definitely the controversy that they're yelling about there. But once the call doesn't happen, the call doesn't happen. You got to play on. Alex Thorne caught that pass, that pull. That was wild. That thing was coming in hot.
And unable to reel in the pass, Savarov. As the Breeze look to get a break back here, up by 4, a chance to go up by 5.
This really stunt everything that Philadelphia was building.
Give and go here by McDonald. Cranston matched up against Pollard. Bloodgood streaking. Oh, good inside throw there to McDonald, looking for one more. Waiting. Yes, out into space. Ja, one more time. He has the hat trick. A chance to get another break.
That's another Huck overthrown in that direction for Philadelphia.
Oh, a Callahan by Greg Martin. Oh, wow.
There's that D bid. That's what we were talking about.
Martin left his feet, dove on the carpet, and stole.
I think Demo was way ahead of the disc there, so able to kind of get in front without putting it on Rowan.
Looking to the end zone. It's going to be a jump ball. 500. It is cut.
Alex Thorne knew he wasn't going to get up for it, went to where the disc could fall.
And Greg Martin behind the play, having a quick. Philadelphia, an opportunity here to break DC and get back within now 2 points, which we haven't seen since the first quarter. Max Tripolis stuck on the end zone line. He just throws it up into space. Battle in the air, won by the road team, Philadelphia. No Chung Moy gets.
Yeah, it speaks a little bit to the rain and a lot of bit to the intensity both these D-lines are playing with right now.
So we mentioned how some guys have crossed over. This is Bloodgood, and McDonald gets it blocked. Justin Keller. So it won't go down as a D in the stat book, but it'll go down as a D in our hearts as McDonald lifts it down the field into the taken away, and timeout called by Max Tripolis.
If that's Alex Thorne making that cut, that disc is a little bit lower, and Tom might be able to get in there.
So Thorne to the end zone, and Mott able to get it down, and in celebration throws that one into the netting. McDonald with the blade on through to Malks. McDonald having a tough time getting open. Good defense being played, and a foul is called.
It looks like Keller's saying there was some contact on the mark that kind of made that travel happen, so it shouldn't be a travel call. Interesting use of the integrity rule.
Especially in a tie ball game. Breeze slowly, methodically moved it down the field. A crucial 0 point here for them. Edmonds inside the brick mark. Wodach to the open side. Boxley, McDonald, across everybody to Wodach there on the other side of the end zone. When DC needed a solid open. Mott, without a dump, was able to get it to Martin.
That's probably the last time we'll see Greg Martin out of the end zone at this point, I think.
So now clock down with 8 seconds. Time running out. That one's not going to get there to the end zone.
Yeah, Calvin kind of lost the thread there. I think he needed to throw that one in.
We're not happy about. Gosh, I can't spit it out.
Yeah, I think I talked to some of them. I think they just forgot Boxley was in the league. I mean, he's a fantastic player. To not get a single vote was certainly surprising as a turnover there for Philadelphia early.
There are so many players on DC that will say Boxley is the most important piece to their offense. And what he does and how he is able to cut and set up opportunities as Bloodgood breaks a mark and get it to Luke Rafus.
So there's been a lot of contact this game. You saw Alex Thorne. He's calling for
So DC gets a break back to go up by 2 once again, and immediately they will test the airwaves with James Pollard and David Cranston. Pollard goes up, Cranston went up first, and Pollard comes down with the disc.
Another contact-filled, a technical foul called on James Pollard there.
The brick mark. They still had to go back. A good pull by Philadelphia, and then instantly ripped deep. Maybe a little short. Oh, but running it all the way out, Cole Urick.
He's been quiet all game. He was due for just breaking free. He accelerates as fast as anybody on the field, and he's just a little bit.
I'm not sure. I know Andrew Roy and Charlie are now both local, so Avery Roy's from Arlington, Virginia originally, as that one's go short, and Merriman is there to be able to snatch it out of the air. Played on the Spinners, played in the club scene, the old patrol teams.
AUDL champion Spinners, Philadelphia Spinners, first ever.
As McCutcheon picks that one up. Fake to even throw off our cameraman as it goes back to McDonald. Over the defense, McDonald finds Alexander Fall. 5 assists on the day for McDonald.
This is what we saw last week in Carolina. You can get close.
Mott. Keller to the end zone. Goal for Paul Owens.
And that was just a hold for Philadelphia. So if you're DC, you're probably pretty happy with the way that possession went.
And we've seen some changes with this DC offense. I mean, back to what we saw last season. McDonald and Malks are the 2 in the backfield. This one into the far corner, and no one's going to outrun Christian Boxley as he runs that one down. An easy hold for the Breeze. Huge part of their dynasty run there in the mid-2010s.
Yeah, back-to-back championships for Thorne. Tyler DiGirolamo, also a former DC player, also on this Philly team.
Martin versus McCutcheon, and Martin had the better angle on the disc and was able to bring it down.
What a play by Greg. Didn't need to go up there. Amazing hands, and that's what Philadelphia needed to do. A quick score to stay in.
Breeze have struggled with this the past couple of seasons. Back Atlanta hustle, brought it out against DC as Boxley trying to win it. Oh, he went over his man but couldn't bring it down.
Boxley and Whitmer were really jockeying for position. Whit went up early twice before Boxley finally made his jump. It meant that for Boxley to get there's some contact in the air. Noah Chunmoy has it on the far sideline in the double team. And it's Matt Hanna in the end zone from Max Trifolis, and a late break from Philadelphia to pull within 2 with 2 minutes left.
Which they cleaned up in this game for sure. Big swing around to Trifolis. Pollard, he has a guy going, thinks better of it. This one will be over the defense, all the way to the other side. Martin is the target, and Martin is the goal scorer.
That's what they had to do, a quick goal, and that was trust from Pollard to Martin. Martin was equal with James Pollard for Philadelphia, some big assists as well.
Sean Moy, a hammer across. They're running out of time too. Here's Whitmer to the end zone, just over the DC Breeze player, and Paul Owens brings it down once again. It may come down to the final point here between the Breeze and the Phoenix. Throwing it backwards, and wise decision by Edmonds, just sends it down the field to kill time. Pollard will get the D, but there will not be enough time for him to get one off. Once again, it is the DC Breeze that come up in the final moments and are able to beat the Phoenix by 1 point. These two teams can't get away from one another.